Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so things might be ramping up here quite quickly. There's been a lot of demand for accountability going into this Trump term, and well, it seems we have someone at the Trump administration that's taking this concept a little bit seriously, and that's Tulsi Gabbard, who just dropped an absolute bombshell on Megyn Kelly's podcast. Tulsi Gabbard has her focus on the unholy duo known as Adam Schiff and John Brennan, and she's going absolutely scorched earth talking about criminal referrals and labeling them as domestic enemies. Apparently, she's already submitted 3 criminal referrals to the DOJ, so yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said things are getting quite interesting. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's first start off with this clip. Here's Tulsi Gabbard speaking to Megyn Kelly.
You can agree or disagree with his policies, but when people cross that line who are in these positions of power and influence, they are actually undermining our democracy and our security in doing so.
You've referred 3 people now to DOJ for criminal prosecution. Do you think they will be prosecuted?
That's the goal.
And
the only way we bring about accountability is by doing the work of conducting these investigations. The Department of Justice and the FBI obviously have different tools that they can use in order to find the truth and to seek out that evidence so that we can actually prosecute these crimes.
Do the people know they've been referred? Like, do they still work here?
In some cases they know, in other cases they are likely not aware. We have another 11 cases that we are still conducting our own internal investigations around. Some will be sent to the Department of Justice for further investigation and prosecution for criminal charges, because it is a crime, it's a federal crime. And others, depending on the situation, will be dealt with internally, or where people will be fired and have their security clearance revoked.
And of course, this is building on top of her viral clip from, I believe, back in January, or possibly during the 2024 election. I can't exactly remember, but I remember she was speaking about Adam Schiff and John Brennan in similar terms quite a while back, and it caused quite the noise on social media.
The mob that stormed the Capitol on January 6th to try to stop Congress from carrying out its constitutional responsibilities were behaving like domestic enemies of our country. But let's be clear. The John Brennans, Adam Schiffs, and the oligarchs in big tech who are trying to undermine our constitutionally protected rights and turn our country into a police state with KGB-style surveillance are also domestic enemies, and much more powerful and therefore dangerous than the mob that stormed the Capitol. Now, John Brennan said,
"So I know looking forward that the members of the Biden team who have been nominated or have been appointed are now moving in laser-like fashion to try to uncover as much as they can about what looks very similar to insurgency movements that we've seen overseas, where they germinate in different parts of the country and they gain strength, and it brings together an unholy alliance frequently of religious extremists, authoritarians, fascists, bigots, racists, nativists, even libertarians."
Now, President Biden, I call upon you and all members of Congress from both parties to denounce these efforts by the likes of Brennan and others to take away our civil liberties that are endowed to us by our Creator and guaranteed in our Constitution. If you don't stand up to these people now, then our country will be in great peril.
And so, yeah, you could say that she isn't mincing her words. She's not holding back at all. And I'd say there's substance behind those words, considering all of this is coming from a former Democrat, not to mention an extreme patriot and combat veteran. Now, if you listen to Democrats, they'll tell you, no, it's coming from a Russian agent. But of course, we know that's completely ridiculous. No, Tulsi Gabbard is a lifelong Democrat, and she is now taking aim at 2 major Democrat players, and now going on the record stating that the actions that Adam Schiff and John Brennan engaged in are not just unethical, but might be criminal. Now, I'm sure somebody on the other side would likely argue that there's no basis for that statement. It's simply an attack on Donald Trump's critics, right? But I'd argue that that is totally detached from reality. Let's start off with Adam Schiff, shall we? A man who's been lying and attempting to manipulate the public as he attempted to build a coup against a sitting president of the United States. You could call him the architect of the coup. This man lied through his teeth for years. He went on every network again and again telling the American people that he had more than circumstantial evidence that the president of the United States was colluding with Russia and was a Russian agent, and that was a total lie. The Mueller report then dropped. There was no criminal conspiracy, no charges, nothing. Then what did Adam Schiff do? He doubled down, faked transcripts, misled the public, cherry-picked classified intelligence, and attempted to spin it. He essentially used his privileged position as the chairman of the Intelligence Committee as a weapon against his political opponent, staging these political show trials, these impeachment trials, that were meant to attack and undermine the president. And not just attack the president with a small lie or mistruth in order to create a damaging scandal. No, he accused the president of being a traitor to the United States in his office, working with the Russians, and he engaged in a shadow coup which falsified evidence in order to get an illegal FISA warrant to then spy on Donald Trump. And he says that what he was engaging in was oversight. It's just oversight of the Trump administration. No, it was third world banana republic behavior. Not to mention him lying during the January 6th committee, presenting falsified edited videos, or lying about the Donald Trump Volodymyr Zelensky phone call during the first impeachment trial. Then we've got John Brennan, a man whose entire career has been built on whisper campaigns and shadow games. He was part of this whole ordeal, again showing up on the media calling Donald Trump treasonous, constantly pushing the Russia hoax, not because he had proof, but because his job as a CIA director was to destroy Donald Trump. Actually reminds me of that infamous Chuck Schumer clip.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know.
John Brennan's job, essentially, is the intelligence enforcer. They create a false narrative to gaslight the American people, and then John Brennan comes in with the CIA credentials to add credibility to the story. We saw the same thing with the Hunter Biden laptop story. Remember when they were claiming that it was a hoax, a Russian disinformation operation campaign? Well, as we know, former CIA official Mike Morell sent an email to John Brennan asking him to sign on to their phony letter where 51 former intelligence officials all signed on to claim that the Hunter Biden laptop story had all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation explicitly stated in that email to, quote, push back on the Trump campaign with. These guys pulled frauds on the American people, all in an effort to disrupt democracy and unseat a duly elected president. So Tulsi Gabbard's not grandstanding. It's not about Trump's revenge. This is about restoring the rule of law and restoring the public trust in American government and agencies. Schiff and Brennan are accused of abusing power, misleading the public, suppressing exculpatory evidence, and essentially turning America's national security apparatus into a political weapon of the Democrats. And the argument being made is that they violated laws with their FISA abuses, as well as civil rights violations. They abused their power, abused their offices, and abused the American people's trust, and they should absolutely be held accountable. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.